Right, hello there everybody, Adam Clery here from FourFourTwo. Yesterday we saw Arsenal 2, Liverpool 2, and today we're going to try something a little bit different involving the number 2, which sounds wrong. Now I actually thought the Desmond was a good result for both teams for very, very different reasons, and I spent all last night agonising over which way to approach this video, and in the end, I couldn't. So what we're going to do is 2 videos, one that really focuses on Arsenal, how they got on top, but how they let it slip, but how that's actually not a terrible thing in context, and another one on Liverpool, why they were dominated the first half and how they changed it and came back and got the draw. They'll both be sort of the same at the start, but then they'll drill down really specifically into one team or the other. If you are neutral in this regard and you want to see both sides, then you've got 2 videos you can watch. This may be a complete disaster. I have honestly never tried it before. So yes, that is why Arsenal 2, Liverpool 2 was a really good result for Liverpool. Right, okay, to start, some generalised comments on the pattern of play in this game. This bit, the next few minutes, this will be the same in both videos. Now, despite the differences in the starting 11s, both in terms of personnel and formation, we've got Arsenal in like a 4-4-2 here, because it kind of just felt more like that than a 4-3-3, which we'll get into in some detail. Both managers came with a very similar game plan. What you have here are 2 teams who are very good at pressing, but also 2 teams who are very, very good at playing through a press. So the approach for both Arteta and Slot was to stop any sort of central progression. You don't want the other team to be able to play through the middle of you, and you also don't want to give them chances to win it back in those same areas. But then, by the same token, because you're both very good teams, you don't want to just sit back and sit in a low block for the whole game and try and hit the opposition on the counter. So you are neither pressing too high, but nor are you dropping too deep. And we kept getting both teams in this very compact shape in the middle of the pitch. And thus, from there, it probably goes without saying, if you are trying to stop the opposition playing through the centre, but you yourself do not want to get caught in the centre, you then must target the wide spaces. The very first real kick of the game, Liverpool get into their 3-2 build-up shape that we have seen time and time again this season, but Arsenal already locked onto them in the middle. They are not pressing the defenders or the goalkeeper too much. They don't want to overcommit, but they will not allow that ball to come into 𝗕𝗫𝗧𝗏𝗏. Still don't know. They're sitting off the fullbacks, but they are prepared to jump onto them if the ball goes out there. So what do Liverpool do? They hit long and they hit into the channels. The hope is, because Thomas Partey is not a conventional fullback and will want to meander into the middle, is to get Diaz into the little bit of space that might leave behind him. And you can see here it is a little bit of space. And it's not the prettiest approach from Liverpool, especially when they've got players who can play far more shorter, intricate, more eye-catching stuff, but it is definitely worth trying. And from here, they get a free kick. Really dangerous one right at the start of the game. And then, just mere minutes later, Arsenal have their first real spell of possession. They are setting up at the back, and you can see, likewise, Liverpool want to make sure they outnumber them in the middle. You can count them for yourself here. They are blocking off the central progression. So Arsenal then do likewise. In this example, Martinelli has pinned Alexander-Arnold all the way back. He can't really push up, so that leaves Timber a bit of space to move into, and that's where Raya lands the ball. And just to show you how much of a theme this was for both teams across the game, right, this might be a little bit messy, right? This is the passing map of David Raya in that match. Now, he's a cheeky little chappy, you know what he's like. He's got his little lefts and rights to his centre-backs to see if they can pull and prod and take Liverpool out of their shape. But by and large, he is not only going long, but he is going into the channels when he does it. Now, you may well be looking at this going, there's an awful lot of reds in there, Adam. He was giving the ball away quite a lot, but I think this is genuinely quite a commendable pass map for a goalkeeper in a game such as this, because not only is there still a lot of accuracy, there's plenty green in amongst all of this for what is a very low percentage thing to do, but also look how far forward he comes to do it. Like, he is playing, he is trying to push them up the pitch. This isn't just a, oh, give it to me and I'll pump it. He is getting into decent positions and then trying to find a teammate. But then we look at the same pass map for Kelleher, and you can see largely a similar pattern. A lot more red, because he's not as good at kicking as David Raya is, in my opinion, but you can see almost exclusively he is going out to the flanks and going long. And in fact, get them both up here, of these, like, what, 30 or 40, I can't actually see them right now, 30 or 40 kicks going into the channels. Between the two of them, there are what? 3 that go centrally, and none of those work. But the thing is, this isn't really that surprising, because in these big Premier League games now, where you get 2 really big teams, and one of them doesn't get a man sent off, they have become so tactical and so sort of like marginal. And that's because teams like Arsenal and Liverpool have such like meticulous, well-prepared, intelligent managers now that they put so much work into negating the opposition's threat. Fairly confident that even if that happens to them, they've got really good quality players that will find solutions on the pitch. And it was kind of a mad game because it felt very sort of like high energy and it went both ways. But if you look at like the XG of the whole game, I know some people don't care about XG, just go with me on this. It was like 0.8 and 0.9. Like in a game with 4 goals that felt like it had quite a lot of chances, that's like very little. And that is, like, as mad as it might sound, exactly how both of these managers will have wanted this game to go. Like you could see from both the set pieces, they were well worked on. They'd obviously practiced that in training. But the other 2 goals, individual moments of brilliance. Like Arteta will not have sat Saka down at the start of the week and said, oh, if you get down the channel, make sure you nutmeg Andy Robertson and blast it in the near post. But he will have trusted him that should such a situation develop, he'd have the quality to do something. But why then, specifically, did this end up actually being quite a really, really good result for Liverpool? Well, in short, because in the preparation for this game, Slot got slightly outmaneuvered by Arteta and did really well to change that up. They got a great result against Chelsea, but if you watch that game, they did get a little bit sort of bullied in central midfield, certainly physically. Like they had better quality. 𝗘𝗫𝗧𝗥𝗔 was excellent. Yes, I know. But in terms of the physical battle in the centre, they didn't really win it. So I'll show you the average positions, and one thing will jump out at you, but we will address that first of all. You can see 𝗘𝗫𝗧𝗥𝗔 not really playing as a 10, not really pushing up. He is pretty much sitting exactly where 𝗦𝗶𝗴្h and 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏 were. And this was because, is that English? This was because Arsenal had, that still doesn't sound right, Merino and Rice in the middle, so dropping Jones there gives you 3v2. Well done, you've won. But the reason Mr. Slot was outmaneuvered by a master was because A, Arsenal, I've got these mixed up, Arsenal had Thomas Partey inverting from right back into this area, but also, we discussed at length in the Arsenal video, Kai Havertz dropping from the number 10 into it as well. And I don't know how good all your maths is, but 4 outnumbers 3. So what this meant, and yes, that was the problem you had already spotted, that forced Darwin Núñez to drop all the way back into this central area to help them try and compete with Arsenal's 4, which is very good. Darwin Núñez is a big, strong lad. He had a lot of presence there, but it now leaves you a big, yawning, great big chasm where your outball should be. And just to be blunt, these 4 here, there is excellent technique in there. There's a lot of sort of diversity of skill set. But in a purely physical, can we scrap it in the centre of pitch matchup, Merino, Rice, Partey and Havertz had the beating of them. Not better footballers, I'm not saying that, just collectively more bastardy. And that meant that on the rare occasions Liverpool got the central progression they so desperately craved, he was here locked in this 4v4 tussle with Arsenal's midfield. And that's obviously very bad because it means you can't continue then to progress centrally. He's not going to be running at the defenders or creating space or pulling anybody around. And also, when you do have to go back to the wide players, inevitably, they haven't got the friends in that area that they would be expecting. But Arne Slot, I don't mind sticking my neck out here, given that he's had the best start to a Liverpool manager ever, I think, is quite a good manager, and he fixed it. Around about the hour mark, he made a triple substitution, and all 3 players coming on addressed very specific things that were wrong with the balance of the game from his perspective. First off, Dominic Szoboszlai coming in at the 10, moving 𝗘𝗫𝗧𝗥𝗔 back into the middle to sit alongside 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏. This was the best change of them all. He may not currently have the sort of output in front of goal I think we were expecting from him, but in terms of just his engine, his work rate, his determination, his reading of the game, his ability to press, how good he is out of possession, he does the job of 2 Alexis McAllisters. And if you are swapping 1 Alexis McAllister for 2 Alexis McAllisters, that means straight away there's way less need for Darwin Núñez to drop from this position. Like, this is his very first contribution after coming on. Arsenal have a decent counter-attack opportunity, but he muscles Havertz off the ball. Great, that's what you want. And straight away, with possession regained, what is Darwin Núñez doing? He's sprinting forward. He's not coming short to make sure they retain the ball in that area because Arsenal are going to fight them for it. He's like, no, we're fine now. I can just go. And this massively changed how Liverpool were off the ball. Like, they're now aggressive enough to press really high. Like you can see here, they are massively outnumbered in this area. This is technically quite a bad situation to be in, but Szoboszlai is not only cutting off the central pass upfield, but he then jumps immediately onto Declan Rice, forces him to play back. They box Arsenal in, they go long in a total panic, and they get the ball straight back. And I've only just now had that thing that my brain does where I'm sure it's Szoboszlai, but then maybe it's Szoboszlai, and now I can't remember which one it definitely is, and I haven't got time to check. So if I'm doing that wrong again, sorry, Dom. The other two substitutions just made sense. Like, obviously, Arsenal were targeting the space behind Andy Robertson. He seems to be a little bit out of form. Maybe he's physically not right. So 𝗘𝗫𝗧𝗏𝗧 coming on just kind of shored that area up. And Cody Gakpo, what he did, oh, I like that. Now, obviously, Cody Gakpo, much bigger physical presence than Luis Diaz. You're not going to get him off the ball as easily. He can win headers, which, you know, if you're going wide into those channels, is a really beneficial thing to do. But also, he likes to stay really wide and make fullbacks worry about where he is. And not only did he worry Thomas Partey, he really worried Thomas Partey. Like, if I was being a nerd about this, I'd show you Luis Diaz's heat map, which is this, and Cody Gakpo's heat map, and explain why that's different and really good. But instead, what I'm going to show you is Thomas Partey's pass map. This is everything that Thomas Partey did on the ball when Luis Diaz was on the pitch. Whoo boy, is he enjoying some freedom to get into the middle of the pitch, be involved in the game, compete, fight, give Arsenal that sort of dominance in the midfield. And this, you're going to like this, is everything he did on the ball when Cody Gakpo was on the pitch. There is not some clever footballing term for this. That is just a man who is now shit scared. So yes, brilliant. All that's really good. You're getting beat and the other team are on top, but now you've turned the tide and you are dominating the game, as we can see from this section of the momentum graph, which I keep saying I don't like using, and then I keep using. But how do they then get the equaliser? Now, it would be very easy for me to praise the run and the finish of Mo Salah. It'd be very easy for me to praise the movement and the pass of Darwin Núñez. It would be even easier for me to praise the through ball and the vision of Trent Alexander-Arnold. But I think the praise for this goal, and indeed a performance commendable comment in general, goes to Konaté. Performance commendable comment. This 2-video thing, brain has fallen out. Now, if you were wondering why Arsenal seems so keen to target Andy Robertson, someone who in theory is a very versatile, industrious, good, solid, defensive fullback as well as an attacking one, rather than Trent Alexander-Arnold, someone for which exists a narrative that he can't defend, the reason for that is because Konaté is on this side, not on this side. Trent Alexander-Arnold, this is his heat map. You can see that across the course of the game, he had that freedom to push up into these spaces. He would occasionally even start flirting with the idea of getting into this like Cole Palmer style half space that left loads of room in behind him, and yet, Arsenal got no joy down there. And in fact, not only did Arsenal get no joy from this area is what gets Liverpool the equaliser. Now, this is right before the goal, right? Arsenal have now been boxed into this shape. Gabriel's gone off. They've sort of ceded all sort of control of the game. They're just trying to hang on. They're in this really compact, deep shape that they're hoping Liverpool can't break through. So Slot's solution to up the pressure and find a way through, understandably, is to allow Trent Alexander-Arnold to go here with more freedom. But of course, you know how the fates work. Risk versus reward. By doing this, that opened up loads of space in this left-hand side for Arsenal that they could potentially exploit. Now, this attack breaks down and Arsenal do turn the ball over, and their first thought, their only thought, can we get into that channel? And they do. You can see here Trent Alexander-Arnold visibly muttering, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, as he sprints back to try and cover that space. But that is fine, because look who is also sprinting. Martinelli's touch actually takes him beyond Alexander-Arnold. He does well here. He would be in, but Konaté has read the danger and he has flown across to win that ball back. And now, because they've effectively sucked Arsenal in down this side, he gives it back to Alexander-Arnold, and he then hits the ball into this channel, into the space they have left. In the space of 2 passes, Liverpool go from this brilliant Konaté reading an interception to this position here. And I broke it down in a bit more detail in the Arsenal video. Basically, this is the problem with 𝗘𝗫𝗧𝗏 being there and not Gabriel. He misreads the flight of that ball, and Arsenal go from this nice little defensive shape into this one, which, if you do around players the quality of Núñez and Salah, will almost always F you in the A. Try not to swear. And there it ended. Liverpool did not go on and get a winning goal. So why is the draw actually quite a good result for them? Because I could very easily imagine some disappointment at not taking that dominance of the second half and Arsenal's back four being made out of like lollipop sticks and PVA glue, not getting the winner. Why is it good? Well, because with every single passing Liverpool win, you keep hearing, well, they've not really played anybody yet. And even when they beat Chelsea, it was like, well, it was at home, and I guess it's only Chelsea in the grand scheme of things. Not really played a top team. Well, now they've gone away to a top team. And yes, a top team that had injuries, but so did Liverpool. Alisson wasn't here. 𝗘𝗫𝗧𝗏 wasn't here. They would definitely have started as well. And not only did they not get beat, not only did they get a very valuable point, but for large stretches of that game, they were the better team. It was ultimately Arsenal who ground out the draw here, who were probably quite relieved to hear the final whistle. Liverpool, I think, will regret maybe not getting that third one. But it's a long old season. This is where they are in the league so far. They've now definitely played somebody, and they look really good for a title challenge. So yeah, that was how Liverpool turned this game around. As I said at the start, there was so much to sort of go through with this. We've done it as a two-part. If you'd like to know what went wrong with Arsenal and why it's actually quite a good result for them as well, that video should also be up. I think the plan was to do Arsenal first, then Liverpool second. So the link will be in the description and the comments somewhere. I'll make sure I do that. If you want to go watch that, drop that. Treat yourself. Now, if you have been sat there through this whole video looking at this football shirt thinking, oh wow, oh my God, Adam, I sure would love to own something as stylish and as collectible and as just generally comfortable as that football shirt you're wearing, you can. This is the incredibly limited edition 𝗵𝗵𝗏 30th anniversary shirt, produced in partnership between us, Legends, and Admiral, also Legends, and is available from Admiral right now for, I have forgotten, I think it's a number loosely related to 𝗵𝗵𝗏. Might be £42. We are making precious few of them, and every time I'm in the office, I steal another one. So if you'd like one and you are size small to, I think, extra large, you can have it. The link for that will be downstairs. This is kind of what it is, I guess. As well, treat yourself. If you didn't absolutely hate all of this, you can get me across all the socials at Adam Clery, 𝗘𝗫𝗍𝗏. And I would implore you, nay, beg, to subscribe to us here on FourFourTwo. The more subscribers we get, the more cool stuff we can do. And hopefully, if you've been watching the channel for a while, you will agree. We do cool stuff. The FourFourTwo socials are in the corner of the video. I actually remembered to bring the special 30th anniversary edition of the magazine, which is still in stores now. You can pick that up. It comes in this cool little wrapper, which I'm not going to open because it will destroy the resale value for when I retire. Until next time, though, thank you very much for watching. I have been Adam Clery. This has been FourFourTwo. He's what? They've sacked him? No, just announced it. Oh, my God. Oh, I'm never going home. Really? Oh, fuck's sake. Right, bye. 𝗘𝗫𝗧𝗏𝗏's gone. Bye.